My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock.
Hey Annette, was geht?
Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
Ha, ich glaub, das machen wir.
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Ganz schön tough.
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
Okay.
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Oha, verflucht.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Erzähl mehr.
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
Bankrott. Im Arsch.
Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
Klingt ernst.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case. But I
Ayo.
don't see much more to look into here.
Gute Idee.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir.
Ist ein ganz anständiges Mädchen, das gefällt mir. Dankeschön.
It does not manifest
Der
itself
Kitsuragi,
in
der
any
glaubt,
way.
das ist...
It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
Arschkalt.
No such thing.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
Nö. Es ist kalt, wir gehen jetzt rein.
Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
Das könnten wir uns nochmal anschauen.
Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead.
Ja, was hast du denn für Bücher? Krimis, Liebesromane, Berühmtheiten.
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Genau mein Ding, oder?
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him.
Die ist voll süß.
You don't look much like a policeman.
Oh je. Die Zeit ist so drum, hä?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
Ja, wie sieht denn der Dick Mullen aus? Dick, oder?
What's that mean?
Ja, in junge Jahren war ich halt ein bisschen fitter und
And
auf
everything's
Zack.
better now, sir?
Ja,
That's great, sir. Don't say that. He's not even real. You're real. Cheer up, sir. It's much easier being a fictional character. He doesn't have to deal with real things.
oh.
Maybe you can show me some real deductive police work, sir. Like in the books.
Ja, aber hallo. Warte, lass mich überlegen. 72% ist gut.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
What do you mean, sir?
Oh, das ist ja was Negatives, hä?
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
Also ich persönlich habe nichts gesehen, aber ja.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
Die hat 2 Stück in der Ohren, die Kleine.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Thank you, sir. I work hard.
Ja, das stimmt. Das sieht man. Stehst du in der Kälte draußen, der Arme. Und Mutter steht drin im Warmen.
It was okay, sir.
Das geht okay, sag mal.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. There's something you're missing.
Nee, das ist zu wenig.
No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though.
Sehr gut dazu. Anständig, anständig.
That's a friendly enough face, most of the time. Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous. Why would they do that, sir?
Ich bin Superstar-Bulle, weißt du?
That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
Das hört sich gut an. Machen wir, oder?
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Ja, also, gutes Gespräch. Sehr gut.
Yes, I stand in this spot all the time. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, telling people about being a star or something. I don't really understand who those stars are. Of course, you stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
Hat dann geschehen. Ui, da war er wahrscheinlich wieder dicht und vollgestopft mit Drogen und verpeilt und...
Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy.
Hau rein die Drogen.
Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
Tschüssi, Annette. War nett, Annette. War nette halbe Stunde. Oha, das ist die Mutter.
Welcome to Crime, Romance and Biographies of Famous People. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Ach, das war die, okay.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Ja, klar.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Ja, klar.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
112, 13, keine Ahnung, was gibt's denn für 10?
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
Ja, aber hallo, klar.
God, I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses.
Was hat's mit dem Fluch auf sich?
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
Was haben wir denn da hinterm Vorhang?
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Ist der verflucht oder was?
Nothing. Why aren't you browsing the books? Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? You ought...
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. God, I've told her not. She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pain.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
Ja, lass ihn mal rein, die Kleine.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there.
Die Arme.
There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
Ist das nicht dein Einzelkind?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
Exactly.
The woman looks aloof. Her
Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? See, everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
Eigentlich nicht.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Da.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types and endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral. Cav books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? A towering mountain of colorful board game boxes and Wirral codices. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks. Rows and rows of Heimdall men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Heimdall and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Heimdall, Return to Heimdall. And the solipsistic Man from Heimdall and the Heimdall Man. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Heimdall novels.
Was für Dinger?
Nothing of interest. Only silence and the cosmic background pain radiation.
Ah, zum Glück. Sport. Was haben wir denn da oben?
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Ja klar, lies
You
vor.
see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the Murder House. The Final Case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower. The Ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre. The Murder of Dick Mullen. Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve a case. Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, my Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The morbid tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic Hard-Boiled Phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals?
Spannend. Noch mit. Was kostet denn das?
Perhaps you're drawn to the dark and noirish atmosphere. Then this is the book for you.
Die Steier. 97. Ich hab bloß 3. Gucken wir mal weiter.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. Various paranatural books still litter the shelf.
Ich glaube, da ist nichts für mich dabei. Habt ihr auch 50 Shades of Grey?
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Ah, da sind wir doch. Ist gut.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says, still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. Hudon, it's somewhere to live, not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forburg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme. Ozon, Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you. You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan-Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore.
Zum Glück.
And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Oh, die ist günstig. Die nehmen wir mit.
Yes. Are you interested or not? Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Okay, also der Typ hat mich echt abgeholt jetzt hier. Ich weiß jetzt ganz genau, wo was ist. Ich kenne mich jetzt aus in, wo bin ich? Rivershore. Keine Ahnung. Der Gehängte. Jo, ich glaube ganz geschickt, wenn man das in der Karte hat. Ich will jetzt mal dick malen. Wo ist dick malen? Vorhang. Ich gehe zum Vorhang.
The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Ich arbeite hier.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. Thank you. Let's just talk about this first, all right? There's no reason for you to venture into the unknown.
There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Die müssen wir jetzt überzeugen, dass wir durch können.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books.
Warum nicht?
Okay, fine. It's because this place is cursed. Just like Annette said, they don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
Ja, erzähl mal was vom Fluch.
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation. It's the curse of financial distress,
Ach je,
of ruin and bankruptcy.
das hat irgendwie jeder diesen Fluch.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Wir müssen unbedingt hinter den Vorhang.
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists, and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough.
So, soll ich mal gucken?
No, certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be, so they can return to their slumber.
Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Are you sure?
Hajo.
Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before.
Ich bin doch kein Scharlatan, ich bin ein Detective, der sich auskennt mit paranormalen Aktivitäten.
I'm not sure I can trust your claims. Honestly, you look like a bit of a drinker. I'm sorry for being so blunt, but
Hey now, hey. You need the booze to focus, all right? The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead then, rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes.
Kim, du schreibst mit, oder? Ah ja.
how do you know all this?
Here we go.
I should have realized. A pattern lies within the fabric. The hand of fate guides us. Our meeting couldn't have been mere chance.
Perhaps you truly are the one to deliver this woman from the doom.
But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
Ja, check mal ab.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it?
Ja, vielleicht?
Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
Natürlich.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
Aha, im Kaminhaus die, so.
Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. Got some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it.
Na endlich, Dankeschön.
Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse.
Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What do you discover? Probably just some office space.
So, na gucken wir mal hinter der Vorhang.
You see a set of tattered curtains. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an
Was war das?
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door...
Detective, you're the one in charge.
Also gut, dann kann ich halt fahren. Ein Fitnessraum. Ein Sandsack. Eine Kugel. Eine Hantel. Sprossenwand. Und ein Kitsuragi. Zeit für Training.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Wie viel Prozent haben wir? Oh, 17.
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. It's just a memory. A memory from another life. When you were young and fit.
Schon Weile her, glaube ich. Was haben wir denn noch? Erkunde den verfluchten Gewerbeblock. Ja, das können wir machen.
What is this place?
Ein Fitnessstudio. Ein Abenteuer.
No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
Auf geht's ins Abenteuer. Ja, wir brauchen Taschenlampe. Okay. Schick, schick. Weg damit. Karte.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of your finger moves through the various streets. Across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
Okay. Ja, dann laufen wir mal los, mit der Taschenlampe. Da sieht's ja aus wie Sau. Da sollte man mal das Holz ein bisschen entsorgen, oder? Ui, da ist dunkel. Ist das ein Vogel? Mhm. Oh, Puppen. Na super. Da hinten ist noch ein Raum.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then, not quite. You do know that there's something unusual about this company's business model.
Ein Würfel. Na mit. Was ist da in der Schublade drin? Kohle. Na mit. Was ist da noch in der Schublade? Auch noch Kohle. Nehmen wir auch mit. Wir werden ja reich hier.
Yes?
Falscher Knopf. Nix. Sorry.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Welkin.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged.
Okay, wenn du das sagst.
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Ja, so eine Art Spiel oder irgendwas.
Just look at those details.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. And you see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe." This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Your eyes glide over 4 sections of the imposing green. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, Tune out, Wirral Untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe.
Ich glaube, das ist mir zu kompliziert.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
Was ist denn das?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UK unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
Ja, und jetzt ist auch schon wieder die Dreiviertelstunde rum. Dankeschön fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.